Welcome back. Yes, I haven't done a video in a long time and I'm trying to get back on it, but it takes a lot of time and life gets in the way. So here we are today and if you're an eagle-eyed viewer, you'll see that the camera seems to be facing on the opposite side of the car. And it is, and the reason is, this is a left-hand drive Mercedes E350, really late reg, it's a 2009. And it's a 4matic, and if you're a big Mercedes nerd, you'll know that the 4matic was never sold in right-hand drive, and the main reason I think for that is they couldn't get all the gubbins of the 4matic system into the car. I'm sure they could have, but there probably wasn't enough for sale at the time. Enough demand at the time for it to happen, so it only came in left-hand drive. Now, if you were a big Will Smith fan, you would have seen this car before it was launched in 2002, and it appeared in Brussels, the most show in 2002. You would have seen it in Men in Black 2, and they had a beautiful black saloon of this. This is the estate, so it's technically the S211 and not the W211. So released in 2002 after Men in Black had got a hold of one, and I remember watching that thinking, that's a really cool car, that looks so slick. They had revised the front end, so had a more swoopy front end to the generations prior. The CLK, the E-Class of the time, they all had quite upright circular lights, whereas these were all swooped back in it. It really, that previous generation looked slightly awkward, whereas this, they kind of really refined it and it really came into its own, I think. This is such a elegant, timeless design, this one. Now, our criteria was forward drive, can tow a good amount, and this tows 2.2 tons, I'll get that right out there, a little fun fact. Tows, and it needs good luggage capacity. And we'll get straight onto that because this thing has nearly 2,000 litres of boot capacity, which is class leading by far. Following from that, let's talk about the models. Yes, it goes from a 1.8 compressor all the way up to the AMGs. Well, the non-AMGs, the 350 was the biggest V6 engine, 90-degree V6. And if you're an engineer, you'll know 90-degree V6 isn't a balanced engine. So they have a balancing shaft in these engines, and the reason they did that is to save cost. They chopped 2 cylinders off the V8, which was the 500, the 550, and then up to the 6.3. And I mean, from 1.8 to 6.3, and I think there was some like 7 point something litre Barabbas versions as well, so that's just bonkers. But the balancing shaft, now, they not only skimped out by not redesigning a V6, but they also skimped out on materials, and I believe, I'm not exactly sure what happens, but one of the cogs, maybe on the balance shaft itself, was made from a poor grade of alloy, and it disintegrated. Anyway, what happened is your engine will bloody blow up. Having done a little bit more research, what basically happens is the teeth on the cog on the balance shaft wear, causing the chain to slip. Luckily it's non-interference, however, it's still an engine out job, so it is pricey. Now, they did rectify this issue on the M272 and the M273, the 350, the V6 and the V8, and you can check the VIN numbers. I'll put a link in the description below. A couple other things they introduced in this car in 2006 which were cool at the time. Sensotronic or Sensetronic braking. It was a decoupled electronic braking system. Stuff that has it nowadays, but back in 2002 that was a really rare thing. Very cool. After a certain amount of pressings, I think like 100,000 presses, the system starts going wrong. all manner of electronical issues and reduced braking pressure. So you get a really hard brake pedal, like it's unassisted, would come up, and very expensive to fix. The modules are expensive. So again, another pre-facelift issue that plagues these cars, unfortunately. After 06, they went back to a more conventional system, and I must say, better for it. There was also a lot of just general electronical problems that plagued the pre-facelifts. Not that it doesn't plague this one, because there's definitely stuff that goes wrong when you pack a car full of this much, and some of it very pointless electronics. Stuff will go wrong. But pre-06, they're just a bit more niggly. So I'm just warning you, because you know there is a lot of nice cheap clean examples that are pre-facelift, and arguably I would say the pre-facelift front end looks better, but you're going to probably run into a few more issues. Now the 3.5 makes 272 horsepower, I think, on the book. With the 4matic system, it's actually pretty nippy. I think it gets up to speed up to 60 in 6.5 seconds. So you can put your foot down and it does go, and it sounds nice actually. This is normally V6s sound a bit funky, but the Merc V6s sound pretty good. In terms of the engine, it is silky smooth. Now I don't know if you've ever driven the kind of the older generation V6, and I can't remember the lump names. I'm gonna put them right here somewhere. There was the 3.2 from the older generations that were in CLKs and whatnot of the time. Also silky smooth, and it just feels like very classic Merc. Just nice, firm power throughout. Nothing thrilling, but just reassuring. That's what it feels like. It feels reassuring. Just a nice shove consistently, probably up until 150 miles an hour. We're going through Germany, so I might find out. Now, another thing these could be optioned with is the 4matic suspension. So instead of coils, you have airbags. Very cool. And you get a little button here to lower and raise it. Again, they can go wrong, like any airbag system of any car really. They go wrong more than coil springs do, and they're expensive to fix. Every E-Class of this generation does still have airbags on the rear. Now I don't know, if I haven't had this over a pit or a ramp yet, so I can't tell you if it's a coil and an airbag on top, but I think that's what it probably is. So it's got self-leveling rear suspension, and you can hear the compressor go. If you've left it a little while, it starts deflating and it raises its rear end back up. Very cool. So if you put a bunch of whatever you're smuggling, it will just adjust it so it doesn't look like you have anything in the boot. Nice and level. Now this particular one has electric seats. You have electric headrest here. I know there's more and more packages. There's memory seats. Mirrors can be adjusted electronically and folded in, which is all nice, very standard, I would say. The ride itself, even on the coil springs, is silky smooth. It is really comfortable. I haven't been in many cars much more comfortable than this, to be honest. I've still yet to be given a lift in my, and hopefully review it, LS 460, a friend of mine's, and I'm sure that's more comfortable than this, but this is definitely in the upper echelons of comfort. As I was saying, good engine. The gearbox on the 4matic has gone back to the more reliable again. Can you spot why I wanted this particular one for a European globetrotter? It's the old 5-speed box. It's a little slow. It's fine. It's got long legs. There they did this the 7-speed Sensetronic one, or Tiptronic thing. They're good, but apparently again less reliable. So I'm very happy about this slushy box. Yeah, Merc without an auto always seems wrong to me. I've never driven a manual Merc, and I don't intend to. Maybe unless it's a 190 Cosworth, then maybe I'll be happy with the dog leg. Now, things the facelift got: a little redesign on the headlights and rear bumper, front bumper on the lips, quite minor. You do have to know to spot the difference. You've got the power when you need it. The seating position's nice, it's comfortable. There's even a little lumbar support here if you need it. So I'm finding the seats very comfortable, surprisingly grippy. You can chuck this into a corner, not that you want to. It really encourages slow, gentle driving, which I like about a car, because there's enough maniacs on the road. So, and I'm one of them occasionally, depends what I'm driving, but this makes me want to drive slowly and serenely, and I like that. And because the fuel economy on this is not great, it gets, I mean, this has done 25 mpg over 3,000 miles. I guess not bad for a combination of driving on a 3.5 litre V6 and something that weighs, I don't know, 1.8 tons. It's not bad. However, it just really just wants to waft you in comfort and slowly. But the grip is there if you really need to get away from someone who's chasing you, because you're smuggling something that they want back. Now, I'm sure this 4matic system will also be really, really good in the snow with the appropriate tires. Now, styling wise, again, I talked about the exterior. I think it's quite an elegant, timeless design. Really back when Mark was doing a good job with its classy styling. I think they're still doing a great job, to be honest. Way better than, let's not even discuss BMW. They've ruined it's almost ruined the brand for me. The interior, again, it's got that swoopy line that goes throughout with the wood trim, and this is in that dark, really nice, I don't know what wood this is, but it's a lovely dark wood. Swoops around the whole dash into the doors, door cards, lovely. This really elegant gauge cluster here, and the ambient lighting on it is very, very, it's almost like, normally you know that the lights are on or off on your gauge cluster, you know, it's very distinct, and this is not distinct. It's just like, it's seamless. The word I'm looking for is seamless. It's a seamless gauge cluster in terms of lighting, and I just really think they did a great job with that. You know, the ride, just back on the ride, it's very compliant, but it's not bouncy. It's not like wallowy because it's soft. They've really managed to strike a good balance here, where it's, I don't want to say sporty because it's not at all, but they've managed to get a great middle ground between, it's nice and compliant, but if I do need it to do something, it will do it. It will take a corner nicely, and when you've hit a big bump, it doesn't wallow up forever. Now, would I recommend this? Yes. The diesel's much better. The 320 diesel is apparently quite a bomb-proof motor as well. I'll definitely recommend one of those. However, if you are in Greater London area, I'd be very aware of buying a diesel right now, because ULEZ is expanding, I think, again in 2023 at the end of it. And a number of cities are putting clean air things in, so a lot of diesels are out. This is great if you can take the fuel bill on the chin. this is a great motor. 06 onwards, pretty bulletproof. And then you look at the competition. Yes, you can get an SUV, and yes, SUVs are like a halfway house between so many things. And this has got four-wheel drive. This will probably get out of any situation that your crossover will get out of, if not better. If you pick the right engine, it's nice and powerful. The 4matic system, okay, you can't get that in the UK, but you really don't need an SUV in the UK. And this tows, so even that excuse is out of the window. You got the BMW E60 estate. I really like those as well, and if you didn't need a huge luggage space, that's a great option. It will drive a little better than this, sharper handling. I'm sure handling on this is very on center, like it's precise, there's not much feel. So yes, the E60 if you want a sharper tool, but I think if you're in an estate anyway and you want to do long miles, this is the one to get. Now here's the most over-engineered cup holder you're ever going to see. So you'd think, why not just put the cup holder there? No. That's how we do cup holders in Germany. Another thing that perplexes me is everything on this car is damped, but the glove box isn't. Now this might be faulty, but I don't think it is. Something that is really nice is it's got old school classic Merc in and out adjustable electric steering wheel, because it's too much effort to pull a lever. Now I wanted to add this in. It's and it's not my dirty trainers. No, it's there's these two little compartments, one on the passenger, one on the driver's side. This one, as you can see, has a little label on it, which means a Medipack. Anyway, open it up. There's nothing in here, but there is, being a Japanese import, a flare. How cool is this? I didn't think these could get exported, but this one's managed to sneak its way through. Here we go. For all the Japanese viewers out there, these are common sight, I'm sure. But for us Europeans, okay, so you get stuck on the M25 and you need to change your tyre. You just set your flare off to warn everyone. There you go, 2008. 2004? Wow, this is, yeah, expired 2008. Okay, so we should probably use it. This is a nice touch. It has 4-way, believe it or not, climate control. So every passenger gets the perfect amount of airflow. One little grill there, and one little grill here. Now, this doesn't have all the fancy options. However, in the rear, this button can also be heated, and I think maybe even vented seats. But this has just got the electric window. Anyway, thank you for watching. I hope this has helped someone, and there's finally a review on a 4matic 350 in English. Good or bad, there at least is one now. And hopefully catch you in the next one, and I'm going to try and put some more content out there. So catch you later.